Deep in the heart of the Pacific Ocean, an uncharted island lay hidden beneath thick fog and roaring waves. It was known only in myth, Skull Island, a place where monsters ruled and nature reigned supreme. A team of explorers from New York set sail on a daring mission to uncover its secrets. Among them was Dr. Emily Carter, a brave scientist searching for unknown species, and Jack Turner, a fearless photographer dreaming of capturing the impossible. As their ship cut through the stormy seas, lightning flashed across the sky. Suddenly, a massive shadow appeared against the cliffs, something ancient, something alive. The crew gasped as a deep, thunderous roar echoed through the valley. Trees shook, and birds scattered into the clouds. There, standing tall among the jungle trees, was King Kong, a gigantic ape, strong as a mountain, with eyes full of rage and sorrow. The explorers stared in awe and fear, realizing they had stepped into a world forgotten by time. Dr. Emily whispered, "This isn't just an island, it's his kingdom." And with that, their real adventure began, one that would test their courage, survival, and the thin line between man and beast. The morning sun rose over Skull Island, casting golden light through the misty jungle. The explorers carefully made their way inland, their boots sinking into the damp earth. Strange cries echoed through the trees, the sounds of creatures unknown to science. Giant footprints the size of cars marked the path ahead. Jack raised his camera, whispering, "These prints, they're fresh." Suddenly, the ground trembled. Trees snapped like matchsticks. From behind the cliffs, King Kong emerged again, his massive figure rising like a dark mountain. His roar shook the air, scattering flocks of prehistoric birds into the crimson sky. The crew panicked and ran, but Kong wasn't hunting them, not yet. Instead, he pounded his chest and glared toward the jungle. Something else was coming. Out of the shadows crawled a monstrous skullcrawler, its fanged mouth dripping venom, eyes glowing with fury. Kong let out a mighty roar and charged. The ground shook as two titans collided, teeth against muscle, rage against power. The explorers hid behind a fallen log, watching in terror as the jungle exploded into chaos. Trees fell, rocks cracked, and the air filled with the sound of beasts fighting for dominance. When the dust cleared, Kong stood victorious, breathing heavily, his fur marked with cuts. He looked toward the humans, curious, not hostile. Dr. Emily stepped forward slowly and whispered, "He saved us." Kong watched her for a moment, then turned and vanished into the fog-covered jungle. For the first time, the explorers realized maybe the giant wasn't the monster here. Days passed on Skull Island, and the explorers built a small camp near a waterfall surrounded by glowing plants. The island was beautiful but deadly, filled with giant insects, flying reptiles, and strange storms that rolled in from the sea without warning. Yet amid all this danger, Dr. Emily Carter couldn't stop thinking about Kong. He had saved them once, and deep down, she believed he wasn't a mindless beast but a guardian of this land. One morning, while exploring an ancient stone temple hidden in the jungle, the team discovered carvings, giant murals showing Kong as the protector of the island. The pictures told stories of battles against monstrous creatures, long before humans ever came here. Emily realized the truth: Kong wasn't the destroyer, he was the balance that kept the island alive. But peace didn't last. The explorer's ship captain, Colonel Hayes, grew greedy. He wanted to capture Kong and bring him to the mainland for fame and fortune. Ignoring Emily's warnings, he ordered his men to set traps with explosives and electric nets near the cliffs. That night, lightning split the sky as Kong appeared, roaring in anger. The traps exploded around him, chains snapping against his arms. He thrashed wildly, his roar echoing across the island. Emily ran toward him, shouting, "Stop! You're killing him. But Hayes didn't listen. In the chaos, Kong broke free, smashing through the jungle in rage and pain. He turned his fury toward the humans, but when he saw Emily standing there, unafraid, tears in her eyes, he paused. For a moment, beast and human looked at each other, two souls caught between worlds. And then, from deep within the island, the ground cracked open with a deafening roar. Something far worse than Kong had awakened beneath Skull Island. The earth split open like a wound, glowing red with fire and smoke. From the depths of the island, an ancient creature clawed its way to the surface, a titan far older and more powerful than Kong. Its body was covered in molten rock and sharp spikes, and its roar made the sky tremble. The explorers stared in horror as Garoth, the demon of the deep, rose to claim Skull Island. Dr. Emily shouted over the thunder, "That's what the temple warned us about. Kong wasn't the monster, he was the guardian meant to stop this." As Garoth crushed trees and sent rivers of lava through the jungle, Kong appeared on a nearby cliff, pounding his chest with fury. His eyes burned with determination. For the first time, the humans realized they had to help him if they wanted to survive. Colonel Hayes, shaken by guilt, finally agreed to join forces. "Let's give the big guy some backup," he growled. The team rushed to set up flares and signal explosives to distract Garoth while Kong charged forward. The battle shook the entire island. Garoth swung its burning tail, smashing cliffs and setting the forest ablaze. Kong grabbed a giant tree trunk like a spear and drove it into the creature's shoulder. Sparks and fire exploded into the night sky. The humans fired their weapons, giving Kong precious moments to strike again and again. Emily watched from a rock ledge, praying for the Guardian to win. "Come on, Kong, you can do this." With a final roar that shattered the clouds, Kong lifted a massive boulder glowing with volcanic heat and slammed it into Garoth's skull. The monster stumbled, screamed, and fell back into the fiery chasm from where it came. The island went silent. The flames dimmed. Rain began to fall, washing away the smoke and blood. Kong stood victorious but exhausted, staring at the humans below. He didn't attack. Instead, he slowly turned and walked toward the mountains, vanishing into the mist. Dr. Emily whispered, "He's not a monster. He's the king this island deserves." But far away, deep in the ocean, something else stirred, eyes opening in the darkness, watching. The battle for Skull Island was only the beginning. Weeks passed since the fall of Garoth. The explorers repaired their ship, preparing to leave Skull Island, but Dr. Emily Carter couldn't shake the feeling that something was still wrong. The animals were restless, the skies darker than before, and the sea around the island churned as if alive. One evening, as lightning tore through the horizon, the ocean exploded upward. From the depths rose a creature of unimaginable size, Leviathan, the ancient ruler of the deep seas. Its glowing blue eyes pierced the storm, and its serpentine body coiled around the island like a living mountain. Garoth had only been a warning, this was the true destroyer. The island shook as Leviathan unleashed a thunderous roar. Waves smashed the cliffs, and the explorer's ship was thrown against the rocks. Dr. Emily cried, "Kong! We need you." From the fog-covered mountains, the answer came, a mighty roar, louder than thunder. King Kong emerged once more, wounded but unbroken. His fur glistened with rain, and his eyes burned with determination. The king had returned to protect his home one last time. Kong leapt into the battle, striking Leviathan's coils with raw power. The creature hissed, wrapping around him, dragging him toward the sea. Emily and Jack, refusing to run, launched their ship's harpoons at the beast, drawing its attention. "Come on, you monster!" Jack yelled, giving Kong an opening. With all his strength, Kong grabbed a lightning-struck tree and plunged it deep into Leviathan's head. A blinding flash lit the sky as thunder roared. The creature screamed and sank back into the ocean's abyss, vanishing beneath the storm. Silence followed. The rain stopped. The dawn broke over Skull Island, bathing everything in golden light. Kong stood tall on the cliffs, battered but victorious. Emily looked up at him with tears in her eyes. "Goodbye, King, thank you." Kong gave one final, thunderous roar that echoed across the sea, not of rage, but of triumph. Then, he disappeared into the jungle, the last guardian of a land forgotten by time. As the explorers sailed away, Emily whispered, "Legends never die. They live where the wild still breathes, and where the king still watches." The End. Gorilla Palm Tree High Voltage.